Good afternoon, friends. Today we will talk about the most relevant events in the world. In our program, Ukrainian troops shell DPR 7 times overnight, says Republic. Russian troops stop actions of 2 Ukrainian reconnaissance groups. US guilty of fomenting conflict in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces shell a village in Bryansk region, killing 2 people. And so let's get started. Ukraine's armed forces fired 30 shells at populated localities in the Donetsk People's Republic overnight into Sunday. According to the DPR mission at the Joint Center for Control and Coordination of Issues Related to Ukrainian War Crimes. According to information published on its Telegram channel, 7 bombardments with the use of 122mm, 152mm and 155mm artillery shells were registered. Strikes were delivered on Gorlovka, Makievka, Nikolskoye, Novosilovka Tureya, Petrovskoye, Stepnoye and Yakovlevka. In all, 30 shells were launched. On Saturday, the Ukrainian militants shelled the DPR 48 times, firing 237 munitions. Russian troops stopped the actions of 2 reconnaissance groups of the Ukrainian armed forces in the South Donetsk direction. Destroyed 2 enemy unmanned aerial vehicles and 2 Paladin self-propelled howitzers, head of the press center of the Vostok Group, Alexander Gordeev told TASS. In the South Donetsk direction, the advanced units of the Vostok Group suppressed the actions of 2 enemy reconnaissance groups, liquidated 8 militants. The crew of the T-80 tank destroyed an armored vehicle and 3 militants in the Ugledar area. The crew of the Strela-10 anti-aircraft missile system and the operator of the Iglaman portable air defense system destroyed Fury and Valkyrie unmanned aerial vehicles. According to radio intercepts, 2 self-propelled artillery installations Paladin of the enemy were damaged by artillery fire in the Elizavetovka area, he said. According to Gordeev, in the Zaporizhzhia direction, the crew of the Gyatsin self-propelled gun destroyed a tank and 4 militants in the area of the Volnoy Pole settlement. And the Akitsia self-propelled gun crew destroyed a truck and 5 militants in the area of the Novopol settlement. Artillery fire also destroyed 2 enemy strongholds in the area of the settlements of Stepovo and Severnaya Dorozhnyenka. More than 10 militants were killed. As part of the counter-battery fight, the Penicillin artillery reconnaissance system detected and the crew of the Malka self-propelled artillery mount destroyed an American-made howitzer at a firing position near the settlement of Zadashai. The head of the press center added. The U.S. leadership is responsible for fueling the conflict in Ukraine and is trying, through media pressure, to blame Russia for the crisis, Esteban Lazo, president of the National Assembly of People's Power, Cuba's parliament, said on Saturday. We reiterate on behalf of the Cuban parliament the most vigorous condemnation of the unilateral sanctions imposed against Russia. We oppose the policy of isolating Russia through a powerful media campaign aimed at inciting hatred against Russia, which they seek to blame for the escalation of the conflict. We are well aware of how the U.S. government operates, the true culprit of this problem, he said at a meeting with State Duma Chairman Vyacheslav Volodin in Havana. Lazo noted that Cuba also condemns the policy of NATO expansion and bringing NATO closer to Russia's borders. 2 people were killed as a result of shelling of the village of Suzemka in the Bryansk region by the Ukrainian armed forces, Governor Alexander Bogomaz wrote in his Telegram channel on Sunday. Unfortunately, 2 civilians were killed as a result of the blow inflicted by the Ukrainian Nazis, Bogomaz said. He also wrote that, according to preliminary data, 1 residential building was completely destroyed, 2 more houses were partially destroyed. Emergency services continue to work at the scene. Earlier, Bogomaz reported that a shell hit a residential building in Suzemka which caused its partial destruction and 1 person was injured.